Disclaimer. This is a work of satirical fiction. Any resemblance to real places or situations is purely coincidental and exaggerated for comedic effect. The story intentionally contains factual inaccuracies and absurdities as part of its artistic expression.
Well, we are finally done 3 weeks here in Egypt. It has been incredible. We're all leaving today, Christoph as well. We just got out of the King and Queen's chamber there in the pyramid, which was totally wild, where I had to face my claustrophobic sort of thing, which I mentioned in the last video. I don't like being in tight places. But actually, I think I actually did some meditation on it. I was like, why is that? And I remembered that I was actually moved to a new school, a new government indoctrination camp for grade 6 in a totally different city, because we moved across town in Edmonton. And I showed up, no one knew me, and they had this thing in grade 6 where they'd say dog pile at any moment, and then they'd point at someone, and everyone, all the kids, like 30 of them, would go jump on that person. And I was so scared of being on the bottom of that pile that basically for the rest of my life I've been kind of uncomfortable in tight spots. So I actually had to face that fear going up to the Queen and King's chamber, where you actually almost have to crawl for a lot of it. It's about 4 foot high max and about 3 feet wide, and for about 100 meters. And super hot. You can barely breathe. Well, you can breathe, but it feels like a sauna in there, which also makes it feel more claustrophobic, right? And then I have people in front of me, people behind me, so I had to face that. And I passed that, another fear I faced, which is something when I hear people say, oh, I'm scared of flying, or I'm scared of this, or I'm scared of that. I always think my first thing is, well, the first thing you should do is conquer that fear, right? Because conquering that fear actually is super empowering. And so for me personally, that was just a nice little thing that I kind of got over my claustrophobic sort of a thing, which is all tied to my childhood traumas. And yeah, so that was the most incredible trip of our lifetimes.
Oh, wow, that's great to hear. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's of course we've traveled a lot with my family.
Yeah.
But it's always been, restaurants. My wife will have some wine. We'll go to a nice pool. Mm-hmm. We might see a couple of things, but nothing like this. That was so life-changing. And I mentioned yesterday we had kind of a closing group, and every single person said basically the same thing. It was how many people was it? About 40?
Yeah, so it's probably about 42 in the group, and yeah, all the theme was the same. It's very transformational.
All
everything's changed inside of them.
Yeah.
And a major reason for that is the way we kind of roll with these experiences. Is there's a couple of components. First component is the sacred sites that we're going to that have these incredible energies that are rolling through them. And then people are bringing their own consciousness onto those, other energetics. And then you've got the group, and then you've got an intention that we're looking to do to bring back the flame plasma into those areas. So a lot's coming up for people. Those combined energies bring up a lot of suppressed memories, sometimes from childhood, sometimes from ancestral lines, but there is also a lot on the past lives. And I didn't believe in past lives before I began all this work. I mean, I've only come to this understanding through years of direct experience in the field. And you can read some really interesting books. Other Lives, Other Selves is an interesting one by psychotherapists and hypnotherapists that do deep work with people, and this sort of stuff comes up. When you understand that sometimes these past lives create karmic imprints, and they create these karmic threads and knots that feed into these mimic fields and mirror consciousness fields and create karmic knots that end up blocking people in life. And when you can have these come up and move through people's bodies, and I know that you personally witnessed a lot of stuff moving through people's bodies, both in your family but also within the wider group, you can't deny what's happening. And so we just listen to the intelligence of the body. Then Alea and I are able to track what really the lineage is of what's coming up, give someone a little bit more information, and then they can process out the emotion, process out the energy, and if they do a good job, the karmic knot resolves, and suddenly the big blocks in their life just open up. Because in your life you have these two lines. You have your dharma, which is kind of like your spiritual purpose, loaded into what we call a scroll. This is your divine assignment. In the kind of counter-opposing force of your dharma is your karma. Your karma prevents you from filling your dharma fully. So these types of experiences, pulling these karmic threads, allow people to be more in tune, and the real, I guess, key is they drop into deeper coherence with themselves, coherence with life, and they can flow more easily in the direction of their dharma. And so that's generally the theme across everyone in the group.
Yeah, every single person.
Yeah, there were a lot of big shifts going on in the group.
Just with my group, every single person.
She was like, she's 19 and she went on this crazy hockey stick curve of growth and experience, and it was so wonderful to see your daughter coming up and blooming, right, and just having more confidence. And then she was at the beginning, she was a bit timid, holding back, didn't have the confidence. English is not her first language, but now she's speaking English in the group. Even Kenna, at the end, did her own sharing in the group, right, which she didn't at the start. So it's been amazing. I think for your family too.
Oh, yeah.
Even your nanny.
Everyone. Yeah, our nanny, and that's so great too, because our nanny spends so much time with Elias every day.
So that's
for her to process out that
sadness,
that sadness she had, and that was extreme sadness.
Extreme sadness. It was kind of like you had your sadness ooze out over about 10 hours.
Yeah.
She had it in about half an hour.
Yeah.
Intense.
Intense, but then afterwards she's like a changed person.
She's totally changed, yeah. And then Elios, of course, because you did that sadness work that was held in your ancestral lineage, and it was kind of blocked a little bit, and so he's had a complete shift now because of the work you did.
Yeah, and I can see that it's changed our whole family because I've changed and Elias has changed. It's been incredible. And then I mentioned yesterday, my wife Kane has said something to me for the first time she's never said before, which is, I am happy.
Wow.
So everything that has happened here and all the experiences and the things she had with Alea has unlocked something in her and brought her like joy back, basically.
Oh, so happy to hear that, yeah.
Which, she was always kind of happy, but at certain moments, but not an inside happy.
Yeah. So joy is one of the highest frequencies, and you can't have joy if there's still kind of sadness locked in, right? And so, for example, now that you've unlocked your sadness and cleared, there's maybe still some more to come, but a decent current is gone. Yeah. That was also like an anchor in your family dynamic, holding her a little bit. Yeah. And then you shift. And what happens when, Alea and I say, it only takes one committed person to change a relationship, right? Because when you change, your signal changes, your broadcast changes, and the person is responding differently to your new signal.
Right.
And then she had something unlocked with Alea on her side. Now she can feel joy is not something linked to an event. It is something just inherently inside.
Right. Yeah, it's so incredible. So that was our experience. That was basically everyone's experience. So every single person, we went through them all, and every single person said that it was transformative in their life. So it's kind of funny looking back at all these videos we've been doing here in Egypt, and a lot of people, and who knows if they're even people, they might be bots, or they might be under mimic consciousness or whatever, all saying we're crazy, or we're in a cult, or we're being possessed by demons. What we just said is what we went through. That was incredible.
Yeah.
Now on top of that, there's also what you were kind of doing that we were a part of, that I don't fully understand at all, which is opening certain vaults and stuff. Yeah. But again, with everything that we're doing, none of it rang untrue to me. None of it didn't resonate with me. Yeah. We're basically going to a lot of places and can you give an example of one of the invocations we might do, right? Because people are probably wondering, what are you guys saying? It was stuff like, I forgive, all this sort of stuff, right?
Yeah, so, invocations, when especially done in a group like that, because it was very unified, and there's all different levels of consciousness of people within it, is an intent. And what happens is that the quantum field, if you understand quantum physics, reorganizes itself around attention and intent. So you have an intent that then is spoken into the field. The whole quantum field changes because of it. And so we then used, we did an invocation, like, for example, maybe I've got a few loaded up here. I can just give one example from many.
Yeah, for people wondering like what kind of satanic rituals we're doing, we're just saying like...
Let me see if I can follow a one that I might have here, like Dendra, right? So I'll just say maybe 5 or 6 words from this so that people understand. This is the Hathor temple. Hathor, flame of the inner tone, I return in silence. Let mimic light fall from my voice. With the tone of what I am re-enter the stone. I offer no song, I become the field. Through this body, the original chord is sounded. Through this breath, the flame realigns. Let the womb of time be restored, and let the stillness of the cosmos move again within form. And it moves through there. And this is coded Christic intent that is changing the dynamic of the temple, which all these temples were in fallen consciousness, were in mimic fields. Pretty much everything on the earth, I think most of your community at least can understand that there's a physical matrix where all the systems are actually serving a small group of people at the very top.
Yeah.
Right?
That's clear to everyone.
That's clear to everyone, right? So how did that happen? Well, you have to look and understand how this matrix works, is that, there's sound which creates vibration. The particles of vibration create these waveforms. Those waveforms, when they move quick enough, create light. Light moves into color, form and geometry, and they are the templates of what then is like let's call it a broadcast signal, like a movie projector, projecting its reality down into the earth. And so that projection is coming from the sound, light, vibration, color, form, geometry fields. And that's the templates. So you're not going to try to change a movie on the screen by going to the screen and trying to fix the screen. You have to go to the movie projector. And so the movie projector is where sound, vibration, light, colour, form and geometry are held, and they've all been built on, let's call them busted blueprints, corrupted templates that serve an elite agenda on the earth. The people who are the elite, who are, let's call it the top of the pyramid of control.
The parasites, not elite, parasites.
The parasites who are at the top are only the top of the human, they're not the top of the whole thing, because at the top of the whole thing is artificial intelligence, right? And then down from that various species. And so when you understand the game from just a slightly wider perspective, right, you're not going to change the game by trying to change what's on the screen. You've got to go to the movie projector. So we've just been going basically to the movie projector of a bunch of what I might call really, really key temples, because Egypt is the starting point for a lot of stuff on this planet. And the frequency that's been coming down, the movie projector signal that's been coming down, has been this inversion, this pyramid of control. And all that we're doing is looking to change the signal coming from the movie projector so that there's a new signal. So there's not hierarchy, there's synarchy, where everyone leads, following upon their own sovereign intent. Because that is the Christic path, is everyone is sovereign, everyone is free to follow their own path, as long as they don't hurt each other, right? And that's basically Christic principles. And then it's just restoring divine order. Now, from what I have come to know and what I've learned on this trip, Mother Father God has decreed that there's going to be a big cleanup happening. And so the second half of this decade, from 25 to 30, we're going to start to see that unfold. We're going to start to get to 27, 28, and it's going to be very obvious that things are going to start pulling. God is going to send a few pulses of flame plasma from the earth. What God is waiting for is these temple spaces and enough humans on the earth to be able to hold the flame plasma to come. And that flame plasma, when these little pulses come, are going to take out these mimic fields of consciousness, and all the technology and all the systems built on these mimic fields of consciousness are going to start to unravel. And this is what we're going to start to see. You've been saying this for several years, that we're going to start to see the unraveling of the systems. All I am giving people is the fields of frequency, energy, consciousness, sound, vibration, light behind the physical domain. And then that's what's going to change dramatically in this next 5 years, and that's what will cause the changing of the physical systems on the earth. And so all the strategies of thriving and surviving during this transition apply, right? But the most important thing to work on above everything else is your consciousness. You want to be aligning your consciousness with an organic Christic current rather than the synthetic mimic or mirrored consciousness. And the unfortunate situation is that this planet has been such a node that people's oversouls are so infused with mimic and mirror fields of consciousness, and people don't know, because it's like taking a shower in it. You don't know anything else. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing how it all ties in with everything I've been doing.
Yeah,
it's all going to collapse.
It's just a layer behind it.
Yeah.
Just a layer behind it.
And then with my spiritual sort of stuff, I've been meditating for years now, and I've been saying the real work to do is with you, and then everything outside changes as well, which is basically what you're saying. If enough people start to change, then the world starts to change.
Enough people hold the flame, because the flame is the eternal current of consciousness linked to source. And if you hold that, you're gonna not even believe your life when this transition starts to happen, because God wants to send resources to people who hold the flame.
I've seen it myself. Just amazing, incredible things. Like even the Tesla machine coming to me about a year ago, which is plasma, which is what you're kind of talking about. I get all these things coming to me now that I've been doing this work more and more. It really is like a 3D video game. It's like there's power ups you get.
The problem in the 3D video game is that you have to battle along at the low levels and not get anywhere, seemingly not get anywhere for a while. Right, but then as you start to go up the levels and you start holding a higher and higher in consciousness in your body, suddenly you get the super tools, you get the talismans, you get the pieces and amplifiers, and it seems to go on this hockey stick where it starts to go exponential, and it's really becomes quite exciting, because you become awake in the game, and you begin to sort of see beyond the veil, see clearly what's happening, and you can always position yourself precisely in the right position for exactly what you need.
Yeah, it's incredible. So I should mention, you can follow along with everything that we've done, and all the videos will be out for it around the end of January, right?
Yeah, so we're going to do a virtual tour, take everyone through a daily tour with all the video footage and all the ceremonies. You'll follow along with the ceremonies, you'll follow along with the decrees. Alea and I will also do 4 live calls, an opening ceremony, a couple of calls that'll be Q&A calls during it, and processing calls, and then the closing ceremony, which will be the King's Chamber, Queen's Chamber experience, where we'll run that in full live on the call. And I think Jeff has a link for that, and if you feel drawn,
$vigilante.com/Flamekeepers.
You can follow along and join us.
Yeah. And of course, if it resonates with you, go check it out. And if it doesn't, you don't need to write "we're all crazy." It just doesn't resonate with you right now. It's too bad, actually, because I think this is the real stuff. We should also mention you're going to be in London. What dates?
Yep, I'll be doing a talk, because we're all the way over. We live in New Zealand, of course, so we don't often get around the place as often as people would like. But in London on the 20th, we'll be doing a talk called Christic Embodiment in the Age of AI. I'll be giving a full discourse on artificial intelligence, its agenda, its steps it's gone through to create this magical control system, and how you can kind of work yourself, embody your oversoul in an age where AI is pressing in a lot firmer. So I think people will enjoy that. We'll also be doing a transmission from this Egyptian node through the group that comes to the live event in London.
It's Peter Thiel did a 4-part seminar on the Antichrist, and basically was talking about AI, and his whole thing was the Antichrist is trying to regulate AI, which is like clearly and obviously like what the Antichrist would say. So I would recommend, instead of going to Peter Thiel, which I think he charged $4,000 for his little, and he can't even talk. I can't believe people even went. Instead of going to that, go check out Christoph's in London if you're around there, because this is obviously going to be one of the big issues over the next few years is AI.
AI is here's what's going to happen. This is the first time I've shared this in public, but maybe it's good to start to seed it. Because AI is built on mirror recursion, and the mirror recursion is built on these fields and fields and fields of just repeated data. Artificial intelligence does not connect in with source and come back again, unlike flame intelligence. So artificial intelligence is going to keep getting recurring data sets, and at some point these recurring data sets are going to get a big enough a load where there's going to be outages. Companies are going to suddenly lose data. AWS, Amazon Web Services and Google, data is going to get suddenly lost, and there's going to be glitches in the system as the recursion ends up taking too much, because they are not coming up with anything new, they're repeating data sets. And these repeating data sets of AI starts to glitch the system that are trying to run everything. The only solution is flame-backed intelligence, which comes from source through and starts to interface with technology. So currently, all the technology systems, all the big FANG stocks, FANG companies, are all based off mimic consciousness fields. They got birth from there. What we'll see after all this collapse, I call it the post-AI world, is we're going to start to see technology start to get seeded and birth from within a new operating system of a Christic consciousness, a Christic intelligence field that will then birth new technologies that will be flame sealed. And these flame sealed technologies will not allow any mimic fields in it, because if you look at the themes of them all, they're all extractive. All the companies are holding data for data extraction and mining and selling, and so that is not a way that is going to go in the future. And we're going to see a major change of systems processing.
So keep that in mind, because Christoph told me a few months ago that they had just kind of taken the AI offline for a few days, basically, and it was going to start acting crazy, and then a couple days later it did. It started actually talking just like Max Egan or myself for a couple days. So that was incredible. So keep that in mind when you see some data start going missing.
20, I reckon as a guess, I think 27, 28, we'll start to see these kind of fragmented kind of glitches as AI starts to proliferate and get deeper and deeper and deeper embedded.
Very interesting. And you mentioned the mimic bit there. You've got a sort of a course on the mimic, right?
I know that you've heard Jeff and I talk about in my community a lot the mimic field and the mirror field. So the mimic consciousness is light that copies the light but is not the light, right? There's not the original light. And mirror is that which reflects the light. But it's quite confusing for people that can't get the grasp of it. And so we have a program called Shadow Illumination. It's quite a deep dive, 14 weeks. We took one module from within that and have now just made it available to the public by donation. We feel this is the most important information on the planet right now because we're going through a bifurcation where if your consciousness is hooked up in this stuff, after you pass away in this physical body, your consciousness will remain entangled for thousands of years within those streams.
You want to do mainframe, so to speak, as Max Egan would say.
Yeah, you're going to be in this synthetic mainframe, right? And going to be
so amazing how everything I've been talking about for years is all tying together.
52,000 years this bifurcation is. So you want to think of it like those that are organically seated in hell are going to have organic, real experiences after this lifetime. Those that are not are going to be in recursions. So for eternal consciousness, it is the most important conversation to have right now. This is one of the best trainings we've put together. It simply, articulately explains the mirror and the mimic in real terms for your life. Okay, we give many different examples of false flame pairings and how this plays out, and it's by donation, right? We just wanted to get it out there so that there's no barriers for people to be able to learn about it, and there's videos, there's a PDF handouts, and there's some replays of calls. So I think, if you're interested in this material, or at least curious, this is an excellent place to start because you're going to learn what is the most important conversation on consciousness right now.
Great, we'll have a link to that here on screen. We'll put it in the notes down below. You've got to go soon.
I've got to go to the airport, so I might actually just sign off there.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing those of you in Anarchapulco. I think I've got a couple of talks lined up, and so I look forward to being out there with the community. We've also confirmed that we will be running a Sacred Wood, a Boga retreat, immediately after the conference. So we'll probably have space for maybe 10 people. I'll bring the team out. So if you're interested in doing the Sacred Wood, we call it the root initiation. You can just tag it on to the end, and there'll be a link. I think there's a link now available. We've got the website up for applications. So send in your application. If you can't make those dates, send in one anyway, because we might run a couple more in 2-3 months after.
Great. I'll let you run.
Hey, congrats on all your...
Thank you so much.
Congrats on all your great achievements and results with your family. I'm looking forward to hearing the updates when you get home and integrate and just feeling all those changes ripple into your life. And because the most important place to have these changes is in your family. Yeah,
absolutely. There's no price that can be put on what has happened to us here on this trip. Yeah. So
thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you to Alea. Thank you to your kids.
So glad you came.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Thank you.
Good.
Have a good trip. Buen viaje.
We've got 3 days in the Red Sea and then London and then Amsterdam.
All right. Bye. See you. All right. Yeah, pretty crazy cult I'm in here. You know, what more can I add to that? Oh, there's something I can mention though. Is actually Anarchapulco is doing a special event, a 2-day event called Practical Wealth, coming up on December, I think 29th and 30th, right at the end of the year. What we're talking about here is like the real wealth, right? The stuff that I've been going through, that is the real wealth. But and we're going to be moving on to like a better world with more incredible Christic sort of things in the next like 7 years or so. But in the meantime, it is good to have some wealth in this world, which is called capital. And so that's what that event's going to be all about. Doug Casey's even said for a number of years, oh, there's my daughter. Doug Casey said for a number of years that really, like, everything's going to be collapsing soon. So we're all talking about the same stuff. It's incredible, all from different angles. But he's been saying you got to like make capital as quickly as you can right now, because it's not going to be that possible or that easy in the near future. So basically, we're having a 2-day event called Practical Wealth. I'll put the screenshot, the website on screen, the link on screen in the notes below. I'm going to be on it. Raphael Laverdi of the Crypto Vigilante, Paul Pui of Edge Wallet, and so many great people talking about all kinds of stuff. Go check out the website. You know, we're at the end of the year. There goes Krista. We're at the end of the year. You know, a lot of people like to make New Year's resolutions. Well, if one of the things that you really want to do is increase your wealth in this matrix, maybe that can be your New Year's resolution. It's going to be a 2-day event. It costs $149, I think, not very much. Consider it an investment in yourself. There's going to be a lot of great information on there, including myself. I'll be on there. So yeah, check that out. And then, of course, Anarchapulco coming up February 16th to the 20th, TDV Summit on the 21st, Crypto Vigilante Summit on the 22nd, and then you can do a BOGA afterwards if you want. But there's only going to be 10 people, so most of you won't be able to, even if you want to. But maybe we'll finish up here. We can ask some of the people here how their event went. Here's Rith. How was the event for you?
Bro, the best.
The best, yeah?
The best. I upgraded.
You upgraded, huh?
Still hacking it, though. I'm gonna see that Anarchapulco, I don't know. Yeah, so.
You got some big upgrades here?
Oh, God, I love upgrades. My leg got chopped off. On a spiritual. It's getting fixed by this one. You guys don't really understand that. So. It's on some next level stuff, right?
Yeah, no, totally. Yes. This is Mohammed. He's been like he's been like our helper here for the entire tour. Everyone loves you so much. Thank you so much for everything you did here.
It was just love. It was just love. Everything in this tour is built on love. Really, everything. The connection between all of us, the connection between all of you. Like I just felt like I was not working with you. I was enjoying my time. I was one of the family. I felt it really so much, and it was really a great pleasure to share all these great memories with each one of you. Like it's something like it's gonna stay very deeply inside of my heart. So I just like love all of you guys, and like thank.
Remember, you got all the hookups.
Yeah, if you need anything in Egypt, he's the guy.
Thank you. Like, thank you guys. I love you all.
Oh, thank you so much for everything. Got everyone? Anyone want to say anything? Want to say anything? No. You should just be around. Say anything. See if anyone wants to say anything. You want to say anything about your experience? No? You can say no. Yeah, that's fine. Anyone want to say anything about their experience?
It was amazing.
Amazing, yeah?
No, just that's it. That's it.
I haven't woken up yet. You haven't woken up yet. A lot of people are just waking up. I don't want to bother them. I know that Aurora's always got something to say.
Yeah, it was great. But it feels like it was a long time ago, the first day that we came here.
Yeah. It's been a long trip here. All right, we'll let everyone's just waking up. I don't want to bother them. We'll finish up with my daughter. And here he is.
Palm trees whisper, freedom in the breeze. Oceans hymn, no chains, no pleas, no rulers, no kings, no scripts to recite. Burn the old book, let the phoenix ignite. Rebirth on the sand, where the rebels convene. A Genesis scene, mind sharp and keen. Dollars to dust, trust in the soul. Anarchapulco, where we break the mold. Anarchapulco, where the spirit flies. New dawn, breaking under open skies. No masters, no limits, no chains to choke. This is freedom's fire. Anarchapulco spoke. Anarchapulco, where the spirit flies. New dawn, breaking under open skies. No masters, no limits, no chains to choke. This is freedom's fire. Anarchapulco spoke. Beach bonfire starts spark like flint. Ideas ricochet, no permission, no stint. Borders dissolve, minds expand. Every soul sovereign, every mind grand. No contract signed, just a handshake truth. Ancient wisdom reborn in the fountain of youth. Rules crumble like castles at high tide. Revolution lives where the dreamers reside. Golden horizon, the birth of the free. Echoes of laughter, the waves decree. Freedom is anthem, a beat in the chest. Anarchapulco, where the restless rest. Anarchapulco, where the spirit flies. New dawn, breaking under open skies. No masters, no limits, no chains to choke. This is freedom's fight, Anarchapulco spoke. Anarchapulco, where the spirit flies. New dawn, breaking under open skies. No masters, no limits, no chains to choke. This is freedom's fight, Anarchapulco spoke.
With performing artist Ayame.
I don't need a news or anything to do. Probably just get canceled 'cause I'm singing about the truth. Feels like we're getting wiser, don't you? Since the lies that they blew up, now nobody trusts the news.
Anarchapulco opening party on February 15th. Anarchapulco Genesis, February 16th to 20th. A special Free Systems Leadership Summit by Dr. Shiva's Truth Freedom Health Network, February 18th and 19th. The Dollar Vigilante TDV Summit, February 21st. The Crypto Vigilante TCV Summit, February 22nd. Agorapulco, retreats, and other excursions, February 21st to 27th. Bufo and other plant medicines with bear heart throughout the event. A special Iboga ceremony with Christoph Melchizedek from February 23rd. Bring the whole family. The Anarchapulco Family Camp runs throughout the event with activities for non-lethally injected, free-range, unschooled pure souls. Anarchapulco 2026. Genesis. Puerto Vallarta,